Shit smooth. That's the radio too. Shout out to that station. Peace and love to the family as always. Just in case, Facebook. I don't want to copyright to that song. Not gonna hold too much of the family time up. You know who it is. I'm at a station at the sanctuary. Shout out to Barnes and Nobles. Um, Not gonna hold too much of the time up, family. I'm on the verge of one of my first presentations was Jesus a Op, and which is coming in February. Don't worry, it's definitely coming. Um, just want to touch on a few things and whatnot because I just want to set a few things straight. This presentation is going to be enlightening. This presentation is going to be mind-opening. And most definitely, this presentation is going to be nothing but facts on top of facts on top of facts. And what we're doing, once again, like I said, there's a lot of our family, a lot of traditions that I grew up with and that I used to hold, and to a certain extent, you still hold because it's unconsciously embedded in your brain. Excuse me. So as a person who grew up off of Christian traditions, I wanted to dig deep into the history of Christianity. There's a lot of us out there, there's a lot of family out there that they worship and they praise just because it was something that grandmom did and it was something that grandfather did, and we cherished and we definitely, and for certain reasons, we cherished and we honored everything about those grandmothers and those grandpas, their morals, the way they raised us. We appreciate it to the point where it became embedded in us and it became a code that we live by. So we took on their religion as well. So it kind of gave us not too much space to have growth on our own spiritual path, because you have a cord connected to you with Christianity that, once again, like I said in previous videos, like I said in the previous videos, voluntary pain, you have a cord that is attached, a religious cord that is attached, and you haven't even done a research on what you haven't done a research on what you believe. You haven't done research on your own shit. So it's almost like, ladies, if you're dating a man, you're just looking at the quality, the physical qualities that man has. You feel what I'm saying? You're just looking at, oh man, that man look good. You boom, boom, boom. You know how you ladies are. But you're not really digging deep into the man's psychosis. You're not really seeing, okay, is that man really good? Is he going to be beneficial to me? If you got kids, is he stable enough to be around my kids? You're just really focused on, oh man, he looks good. Let me get into bed with him. It's the same thing that we do with religion. It's just what it is. It's the same thing you do with religion. Your connection with Jesus, your connection with God is based on that hereditary connection you had with your grandmother, your mother, your uncle, your aunt, whoever raised you. Their connection to Christ and God is based off of their ancestors, their grandmothers, grandparents. Do you feel what I'm saying? So if you go back to their connection, they are connected with the slave master, the book they gave them, the same book that if you read, say, obey your slave master. Be good Christians and obey your slave master. That same book that you praise and worship and honor told our ancestors to be good servants of the slave master and obey him just like you would do Christ. So a lot of that has been embedded in our DNA code, and all we know is Christ, Christian, religious, God. And we won't do the research. We won't do the research. Like I said, there's a lot of people who claim to be scholars of Christianity, and they never heard of the Gnostic text. Gnostic, the Gnostic text. I don't care what you preach as a Christian. If you stand on that, you better know what the Gnostic text is, and you better be able to explain it to your congregation when they have questions to ask about the Gnostics, who are the early Christians. You got to know the people you are worshiping. You're not going to be going out here picking a homeless man out, taking him in your home. Well, some people will, but most people will not do that. You're not going to pick a homeless man up, take him in your home, And then you're going to just go ahead and just, you know what? Make him the main priority in your home. Make him the creme de la creme in your home. Not only do you invite him in your home, but you serve him as well. Without knowing nothing about that homeless man that you just picked up. I'm giving you examples right now, as crazy as they sound. So what I'm doing with Jesus the Op is, I'm not cursing these Christians out because my family are Christians. I'm letting my family know that we got to dig deep into what this is we are looking into and not just hold truth to it because it is something that has passed down to us. Now, if you feel some type of way with it, once again, it is what it is. Once you see me, we can sit back and talk about it. But right now, I have a mission, and I've been sitting here for this mission. As crazy as it sounds, but it's good. It's a great one. So, without giving too much of what the presentation would be about, like I told you before, that I'm going to be presenting characters into this. So, just to give you a sneak peek of what was Jesus the Op going to be about, is going to be presenting, I'm going to throw one of the characters in right now before I hop in here to Barnes and Nobles. My Christian scholars, we know about Jesus. We know about the great works of Jesus. All the miracles Jesus has done. But for my Christian scholars, how many of you have heard of Apollonius of Tyana? To my Christian scholars out there, how many of you have heard of Apollonius of Tyana? Now, how many minutes I got on here? 7 minutes. I'm not going to tarry on too long. Apollonius of Tyana. Just a brief on this. And like I said, you can look this person up. Apollonius of Tyana. Let me go. I got notes. Don't you worry. Like I said, all my teachers, all my scholars always told me, when you presenting great power and great information like this, you better have information to back it up because the people are going to come check you, as well as they should. Apollonius of Tyana. Family, you got pen and pad? I'll give you a few seconds. Apollonius. 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 That's Apollonius. Apollonius of Tyana. And family, I don't know about y'all, but Tyana's like a pretty good girl name, don't it? Tyana is spelled Tyana. He's a famous mage. Look him up. I'm going to give you that one right there. That's going to be a freebie on me before I hop into one of my favorite places. Apollonius of Tyana. He was around at the same time that Jesus was. We haven't gone into that part yet. He was around the same time that Jesus was. Performed the same miracles that Jesus did. Got judged in front of the same type of emperors who judged Christ for the works that he was doing, and they were saying it was blasphemy and magic. Apollonius of Tyana. The difference is, family, is that Apollonius of Tyana, unlike Jesus, he lived a long age. He lived to see an old man. He lived to be an elder, is what I'm trying to tell you so much. He lived to see an old age. And not only that, unlike Jesus, who was condemned for all the works he was doing by the Roman emperors or the ones in power at that time, the Caesars, he presented himself in front of these people, fought his case, and he won. Now, he was doing the same stuff that Jesus was doing, mind you. Difference is, he lived to see an old age. And that's the point I told you right there, that unlike Jesus, who was condemned for it, he wasn't condemned for it. So I want my family, I just gave you a freebie before this goes off, 10 minutes. Told you I ain't gonna hold too much of your time. I want y'all to check out the presentation because we going in. So check that out. Apollonius Septiana. He was around right now. I want you to judge for yourself. Corbin's not making no claims. I'm telling you to judge for yourself. Apollonius Septiana. I done gave you the name. You start doing the work. Peace and love to the family. 2020, we here. I'm out. They all watching. Peace out.